our last two lowercase letters today. The first one, you already know all the parts of it. It's just we have to put it together. So you know an overcurve. It goes over the ellipse starting at the bottom. You know the slant. You know the undercurve. And you know the check stroke. And that's our letter V. Overcurve, slant, undercurve, check stroke. Now the reason we do this overcurve first is because we want it to look different than the U and the W. So we have this overcurve, slant, undercurve, check stroke instead of an undercurve, slant, undercurve, because that will look like an I. So get in the habit of making your V's an overcurve first. The next letter is a weird letter. I'm sure there's a history of why this letter looks like this, but I haven't learned it yet. So look it up and tell me. We do an overcurve and a slant. That's our first part. When we get to the baseline, we're going to do another overcurve and a slant all the way to the basement. So we do overcurve, slant, overcurve, slant. Then we do a loop back and an undercurve. It's a Z. Who knows why it looks like that? But it does. Can you make two V's and two Z's? Let's connect them. A V and an I. Overcurve, slant, undercurve, check stroke, slant, undercurve. And a V and an A. And a V and an U. And a V and an O. And an O and a V. Check stroke. Let's do a V and a Y. Can you hear my fourth grader practicing the violin? Are you practicing your instruments while you're doing this homeschool? More or less? I just wrote voice and vent. I'm going to write voyage because those aren't allowed right now. That's a good word to practice because you have check strokes connecting to O's, which we decided were hard because you don't have any slants to remind you. And then you have these down curves that you have to remember to get far enough over. How about flavor? and heavy. Some Z words. So our Z is an overcurve and a slant, and an overcurve and a slant, and a loop back and an undercurve. But when we connect it to, well, connect it to an I. See how our slants are parallel and they're about the same distance apart. How about a ZU or a ZO? Let's do a ZO. And a ZE. Now, the same thing when we're connecting the Y or the V, any of these overcurve letters, when we're coming from a check stroke, like in snooze, you just kind of turn that check stroke around into an overcurve. So let's write snooze. Overcurve. That takes some practice, and it will look weird until you get really good at it. Frozen. My 2-year-old's favorite movie right now is Frozen, but he calls it Elsa. And he likes Frozen 2 just as much as he likes Frozen 1. Crazy. This is gonna look like a crazy word. How about it? Down curve. Down curve. Oh, I already messed it up. Let's try it again. How about dizzy? Jazz. So now you know every letter in the alphabet. Tomorrow we'll do some pangrams. That's one sentence that uses every letter in the alphabet, and I have some funny ones that we can practice. And joining the letters will be the hard part. Then after we do some pangrams, we'll start on the uppercase letters. Happy handwriting.